My partner's former flame suffered from amnesia, remaining trapped in the period when their love was at its peak. To assist her in recovering her memories, they spent time cooking together, goofing around, and sharing kisses in my wedding suite, even creating videos that blew up on TikTok overnight. During a late-night live stream, she wept, expressing, "Everyone else is moving forward. Why am I the only one stuck in love?" Thousands of online viewers were deeply touched, urging me to return my partner to his ex. The relentless cyberbullying took a toll on my pregnancy, making it unstable. In tears, I reached out to my partner, who impatiently ended the call, saying, "Jess, it's just for a month. She'll move on once her memory returns. Can't you handle that?" The following day, I went to the clinic, terminated my pregnancy, and sent the documents to him. I heard he lost it. That night, just as I stepped out of the shower, someone shoved me against the door and kissed me, their breath familiar. I shoved them away, saying, "My hair's not dry yet." Later, he texted, "Still clinging to me? Have you been drinking?" I could smell alcohol on him. Ethan didn't hold back. He was always so composed with me. This was the first time he showed such intensity. A strong gust blew open the bedroom door suddenly. I saw a pair of eyes glaring at me from outside. "Mia?" I whispered in disbelief. Hearing that name, Ethan froze and immediately became alert, pushing me aside. "What are you doing here?" he asked the girl outside, his voice carrying a hint of gentle scolding. She stood there, eyes innocent, saying, "The bedroom light is out and I'm a bit scared." I glanced at Ethan, who looked frustrated, loosened his tie, and moved toward the bed. "I told you not to come to the second floor. It's not your place." The girl's face showed slight embarrassment as she sobbed, "Sorry for disturbing you." She then covered her face and fled. Although Ethan's tone seemed harsh, I felt a sense of relief. Afterwards, Ethan lost interest, took a shower, and lay on the bed reading a book. But after drying my hair, I noticed his book was still on the table's cover. Just as I was about to speak, he stood up and began searching for tools in the drawer. "I'll go check on her," he said, holding the tools. Noticing me staring, he added, "She has night blindness." My heart sank, and I could only respond, "All right." After Ethan left, I saw his phone light up on the nightstand. Just as I was about to turn it off, a message appeared on the screen. "Man, do you really need to stress about this? We did attend Mia's wedding, but we kept it low because she didn't want us to." It put us in a tough spot. Besides, it's all in the past. She's divorced now. I didn't dare read further and quickly shut the screen. Mia, the girl from earlier, was Ethan's ex-girlfriend. She had been staying at our place for a week after being saved from a suicide attempt and losing her memory. Her memories had been frozen for 6 years. That was when she and Ethan were deeply in love during college. The doctor mentioned she only remembered Ethan and needed more time with him to regain her memories. Initially, Ethan was strongly opposed, saying, "Sorry, I have a girlfriend." But he couldn't resist when Mia's mother pleaded on her knees, "Ethan, please, for my sake. I supported you through high school and college. Save her. I can repay the tuition. I only have this one daughter. I just want her to live a good life." Eventually, Ethan softened and told me, "If you don't agree, I'll ask them to leave." So the burden fell back on me. Standing there felt like being roasted over a fire because Mia's mother was my boss at work. She had promoted me when I first joined and had helped me out. Now she was humbling herself, kneeling before me, with everyone expecting my decision as if I had no choice. In the end, I agreed to let her stay for a month. That night, they attended a high school reunion, and Ethan returned radiating negative energy, not speaking a word to her. He drank heavily that night, extremely angry, all because of her presence. Was it possible for someone as calm as Ethan to lose control just because she was back? Before all this, Ethan was always confident, effortlessly defeating anyone who challenged him with a gentle demeanor. He was a legend at our law firm, never losing a case. Ethan came back quickly, within 10 minutes, without saying a word. We lay back to back on the bed. I had too much on my mind to sleep, but then I felt a hand around my waist. "Can't sleep again?" His soft voice buzzed in my ear. "I had some tea tonight," I admitted. He paused. "I told you not to drink tea at night." "Why won't you listen?" I hurriedly explained. "I was working on a draft tonight." He placed his hand on the back of my neck, gently massaging it like I was a child he was trying to soothe. Don't stay up too late. I nodded. All right. After a while, he sighed. You're so much less trouble. Oh, so he liked that I was low maintenance. Who was the one causing more trouble? Ethan was 2 years older than me, but much more mature. Colleagues said I had a fatherly boyfriend who handled everything, never leaving me to do anything alone. Always gentle, like an older brother. We were introduced by coworkers and started dating 2 years ago. I still remember our first meeting. I tried on many outfits, but standing in front of the mirror, I felt imperfect, thinking it wouldn't work given my situation. I just wore sporty clothes with no makeup. We were filling out a questionnaire. I discovered he had a car, a house, a high salary, and a great job. In front of him, I couldn't hide my insecurities. I said, then I'm not good enough for you, and got up to leave. But the next day, a coworker approached me saying he asked for my number and was very pleased with me. It felt like winning the lottery. I never imagined a Prince and Cinderella story would happen to me. After a few dates, we became official. However, he never introduced me to his parents in 2 years. He said, my hometown is too far. I'll take you there someday. He also never introduced me to his friends, all of whom were lawyers with sharp tongues. I feared they might bully me. Even the proposal came from me. He didn't respond immediately at that time, but the next day, after socializing, he had a stomach bleed, and I stayed up all night caring for him at the hospital. The following day, when he woke up, he looked at me calmly and asked, do you still want to get married? I was both shocked and thrilled and nodded. But just as wedding preparations were underway, his first love returned. Over the weekend, Mia made dinner. While eating, she expertly removed cilantro from Ethan's bowl. She said, he doesn't eat cilantro. I was stunned. We once argued because I forced him to eat cilantro, and he had disgustedly spat it out, saying, you don't love me since you made me eat such gross stuff. She naturally explained it in hindsight. I was so unreasonable. I looked at her calmly, but thought about the time Ethan and I had hot pot together. He looked at the cilantro-filled bowl and asked, what does cilantro taste like? Why do you all like it so much? At that time, I didn't know who you all referred to, so it was Mia. Now he eats it, Ethan said with a dark expression as he slid his bowl over. Mia paused, then her eyes reddened. In just a few years, you've changed so much. I almost don't recognize you. I felt like an outsider during that meal, helpless and clueless. Later that evening, Mia posted a video on TikTok showing Ethan's back. The caption read, my memories stop at the year I loved him most. The guy who biked 20 kilometers just to see me told me 6 years ago we broke up. He now has a new girlfriend, bought a house, got a car, and became a distinguished lawyer in this city. He fulfilled all the promises he made to me when we were young, except he left me behind. Everyone moves forward. Why am I the only one stuck in love? The video went viral overnight. In a few days, netizens unearthed information about everyone involved. Soon, everyone knew about our situation. My colleagues joked, an ex who cries always wins. You better keep a close eye on your Ethan. Man, a first love is unforgettable and irreplaceable. Hearing this, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't anxious. Mia was adorable, with big eyes that made you want to protect her. She had a lively personality, a sweet smile, clearly a spoiled child from a wealthy family, innocent and carefree. Any man would want to protect her. I was different, just an ordinary office worker. Plain-looking, strict, boring, insecure, and sensitive, because I lacked security. I always loved Ethan with all my heart, but only showed him a fraction. I felt restless all day, constantly checking short video platforms, reading comments. I noticed his ex and I had similar names. Hers was Mia and mine was Sarah. Is this some kind of stand-in literature? A stand-in? My mind went blank as I remembered our first date. I asked him, what do you like about me? He didn't answer, just patted my head. That evening by the river, he suddenly smiled at me. Your name sounds good, Sarah. It sounds good. But he only called me honey when he was drunk. When sober, he was always the serious Sarah. When I hear your name, it feels like we've known each other forever. I felt a jolt in my heart. Did he still remember me? That night, I couldn't sleep and ran into Ethan downstairs. We went back home together. Mia was hugging the goose plushie I bought, watching SpongeBob. Do you guys want to watch together? She laughed like a child. No. Ethan threw his coat aside and headed upstairs. Childish. What about you, sis? Do you want to watch? Mia looked a bit hurt. I have a report to write. I went upstairs too, only I knew Ethan was lying. On weekends, he always curled up on the sofa, alone, watching SpongeBob, whether he was happy or upset, quietly watching SpongeBob. At that time, I found it cute and liked him even more. Why did he lie today? I went back to our room and found him reading. He was reading Norwegian Wood. Still on the first page. The first page had neat handwriting. Don't know who wrote it. If we get separated just like that, abruptly cut off. Are you free this weekend? I walked over. Yes. Why? We booked a wedding photo shoot, remember? He looked at the calendar. This weather. Will you be cold if we shoot outdoors? Just for a bit. I should be fine. Why are you always so strong? He pulled me closer. Let me buy you some hand warmers. You can use them while shooting. Okay. See, he's so gentle, he still loves me. The gloom of the day was lifted by his concern. Thinking of my colleague's words, I hugged him proactively. He held my busy hands. Is your period coming? The 15th? He reminded me. I was stunned. No, I'm number 1. Did I remember wrong? He furrowed his brow, trying to recall. But I remembered earlier in the day, Mia had asked if I had any brown sugar at home. She looked pale and felt a bit unwell. I felt deep sadness. He remembered clearly, but it wasn't about me. You've been working too hard. Get some rest early. He pinched my cheek. I usually work like this too. I'm worried you'll get too tired. He was still pushing me away. My suppressed emotions seemed ready to burst. Are you worried I'll get too tired or that she'll come upstairs? I finally asked the question we both hated to mention. His expression changed instantly. What crazy thoughts are you having? Sarah, you're sensible. I don't want to be sensible. There was a bit of childish rebellion in my tone. It was the first time I talked to Ethan this way. In reality between us, he always had the upper hand, and I was always the obedient, understanding, and humble one. He looked at me, sighed, and kissed my lips. As he undid my first button, a scream came from downstairs. It was Mia. He paused, but then continued kissing me, ignoring her. Seeing his distracted look, I lost all interest. Shouldn't you check it out? I pushed him away. No, he said firmly, but doubt flickered in his eyes. We each lay back in our separate areas. I'll go heat up some milk for you. Drink it to sleep well. He walked toward the door. I didn't say a word, just dug my nails into my palm, feeling the sting of pain. The next day, I felt uneasy, clearly upset, because of the Band-Aid Mia had on her forehead. I bought those Band-Aids and placed them in the room where she slept. She wouldn't find them without asking me. So who went to her room and helped her get them? It was obvious. These Band-Aids are so cute. Sis? She pointed to her head. How was your night? My hand was trembling. These Band-Aids are so cute, sis. She pointed to her head. How was your night? My hand was trembling, but I held back my emotions. Oh, I went to the bathroom at night, slipped, but thank God for him. She abruptly stopped, realizing she had said too much. We didn't wake you, did we? Looking at her delicate appearance, my emotions surged. Why did you go to the bathroom by the kitchen? Doesn't your room have one? I questioned her. I felt a bit hungry and thought I'd find something to eat, then just went. Did she believe her own lie? I didn't say anything, just watered the garden flowers. You also like white roses, sis? She smiled at me. I looked at the garden full of white roses. He likes them. Oh, sis, did you know my game name is White Rose? My mind went blank, staring at the white roses. I remembered when we decorated the house. I liked daisies, but Ethan chose white roses. He personally planted rose seedlings all over the garden, hugging me in the breeze, saying, "We'll get married when the garden is full of blooming roses." I was blissful, carefully tending the flowers for half a year. Finally, the garden was full of blooming roses. I was blissful, carefully tending the flowers for half a year. Finally, the garden was full of white roses, only to realize this was the outcome. How about I treat you guys to dinner this weekend, at that place by the school? He loved eating there during college. She changed the topic. We're going to take wedding photos this weekend. No time. I smiled and cut her off. Her smile froze, only for a moment. Then she smiled again. When's the wedding? Do you need me to be a bridesmaid? Next month. We already have a bridesmaid. No need to trouble you. Which day next month? She seemed skeptical, thinking I lied. October 5th? She froze and then smiled. That's my birthday. He hasn't forgotten. He said he would marry me on my birthday. I looked at her smug face, and my anger exploded. Mia, I don't care what happened between you two. Ethan is my boyfriend now. He's marrying me. Don't think that just by posting on TikTok and garnering sympathy, he'll come back to you. You're the one who abandoned him. Her face turned red with anger, and she dropped her facade. But sis, you're like a thief. You stole the guy who promised to love me forever by using my name. Mia, you didn't lose your memory, right? I looked at her. No, she replied. I dropped the watering can and slapped her hard. Leave my home, your home. She held her face, laughing shakily. He bought this house because I said I liked houses with gardens when he graduated. He couldn't afford it then, but now he has a 2-story house with a garden planting my favorite white roses. He remembers my cycle. He tried dishes he didn't like for me, read books, and watched shows I loved. He's scared I'll fall, so he installed motion sensor lights in the hallway early this morning. Do you really think he forgot me or stopped loving me? He hates me but loves me even more. You and he are so alike, sis. You both love deceiving yourselves. Listening to her, I felt my scalp tingle. What madness are you spouting? A scolding voice came from behind. Get out. It was Ethan. He was scolding Mia, but I still felt utterly miserable. Even though he was on my side, I couldn't shake the feeling of despair. Panicked, I tried to leave, but Ethan held me back. She's talking nonsense. You know how reasonable you are? Don't you get it? Nonsense! I suddenly found it laughable. You said you liked my name because it was similar to hers. You love her favorite white roses. You chose your wedding date on her birthday. Even her cycle. You only remember hers. Tell me, which part is nonsense? Aren't you a lawyer? Argue with me. Use even a 1/10 of your professional skills, and I'll believe you. Convince me. I broke down. Do you love me? I asked him. How have I treated you? Can't you feel it? I feel it. You're meticulous. A qualified boyfriend. But why do you zone out whenever you see me? When you're lost in thought? Are you loving me or searching for someone else's shadow? He couldn't say a word, suddenly panicked, and quickly hugged me. Sarah, she's only staying for a month. She'll leave once she regains her memories. Can't you be a little more gracious? Gracious? I suddenly laughed. Let me ask you one last question then. Did you like me from the start, or was it just because my name is similar to hers? Sarah. He lowered his voice and tried to kiss me. Don't call me that. It makes me sick. I pushed him away, grabbed my bag, and headed downstairs. He chased after me again. I'm sorry, I made you two argue. I should just leave from here. Mia's crying voice echoed from upstairs. At the bottom of the stairs, I saw her in a white dress, wobbling on the edge of the rooftop. Ethan looked at Mia, then back at me. In those few short seconds, I waited while he weighed his options. After a moment of hesitation, he threw out a weight here and rushed upstairs. In an instant, my world collapsed. I had nowhere to go. So I asked my company for some vacation days and went back to my hometown. On the train home, I saw Mia's TikTok post. She was crouched under a rose bush, eyes red from crying. The caption read, "If we get separated, I'll wait right here for you." Netizens were moved to tears. I thought of that line from Norwegian Wood. It must have been her who wrote it. So that's why he kept reading that book over and over. What am I in the midst of their breakups and reconciliations? Grandma was overjoyed to see me return. Her face wrinkled from smiling. Where's Ethan? Why isn't he with you? She looked behind me, searching. He's busy. I held back my tears to avoid worrying her. Oh, do you have enough vacation days? You need to get married next month and go on a honeymoon, don't you? Will you still have vacation left for that? This old lady, happy as can be, was still worried about me having enough days off for a honeymoon. She didn't know that I wouldn't need them anymore. I just missed you. Aren't you happy to see me? I hugged her. Of course I'm happy, my precious granddaughter. She mysteriously brought out 2 red clothes from her room. Which one should I wear for your wedding? They were simple red coats, but the best quality clothes she had. Looking at them made my nose tingle. They both look good. Grandma changed into one of them, holding my hand. Isn't there a parent's speech during the wedding? Your dad's away and your mom is busy. Can I fill in? Don't worry. I asked a college student from the village to write a speech. Since I can't read, I've memorized it. Wanna hear? She stood in front of me, as if being called on by a language teacher, to recite a lesson. Okay. I kept my head down, afraid to look at her. I knew she was making excuses for my parents. They had divorced long ago and didn't even acknowledge me. How would they attend my wedding? I'm starting now. She cleared her throat. Our home's Sarah grew up with me, this old lady. I can't read and was afraid of not raising her well. She was always alone, timid, often bullied. Then one day she came home excited, saying she had made a pen pal, an older brother. They started exchanging letters each month. She said he was very smart and wanted to attend the same university as him. So she studied really hard. Later she stopped writing because she got sick and missed the college entrance exam that year. During her worst surgery pain, she cried and told me, "Grandma, I can't go to the same university as him. I won't get in." She became lonely again, until after she started working. She came back from the city with a young man. She had a boyfriend and smiled again. She secretly told me that the young man was the older brother she used to write letters to. Today I stand here, seeing her marry the man she loves, filled with joy. Thank you, Ethan. Thank you for loving our Sarah. Before she finished, I couldn't take it anymore and rushed to the bathroom, sobbing uncontrollably. What's wrong? Did I say something wrong? She nervously came in. No, it was great, but it made me even sadder. Did you two fight? She patted my back, looking at me painfully. No, I cried so much, my stomach churned, and I vomited twice. Something's definitely wrong. I sensed it the moment you came back. She sighed. Let me call him. I felt too sick to stop her. When I finished cleaning up and came out, I saw her making gestures with one hand while on the phone. Even though he couldn't see her, she smiled ingratiatingly, her face full of wrinkles. You're not busy, are you? Sarah's not feeling well. Can you come take her to the hospital? Okay, be careful driving. I made dinner. I'll wait for you. So, is Ethan coming? I didn't know how I felt. I didn't want him to come, but I also hoped he would. Girls shouldn't be too stubborn. Show some vulnerability. If I die, where will you go after a fight? You need to get along well with him, okay? I covered her mouth. Stop it, Grandma. You'll live a long life. Silly girl, that'd make me an old witch. Ethan arrived that night. What's bothering you? Let's go to the hospital. Okay. He anxiously checked on me. See, every time he's like this, I feel like he loves me. But now, it didn't move me. Ethan, it's my fault complaining she's bothersome. I lied. Just eat dinner and take her home, said Grandma. Ethan stood there stunned. All right. I'm here to take you home. He walked over and hugged me as if I were a treasure. I already made her pack up and leave. The day after tomorrow, we can go take our wedding photos, okay? We're getting married next month. Please don't act up anymore, okay? Worried about my grandma, I went back with him the next day. My grandma isn't healthy. I've been selfish. She's an old woman. What could she possibly do to help me? In the end, I would have to deal with breaking up on my own. On the drive back, Ethan unusually talked to me the whole way. My mom went crazy when I was young, and my dad broke his leg working in the mountains. After middle school, my family couldn't afford my school fees anymore. Later, an entrepreneur doing poverty alleviation in the village paid for my high school fees and gave me living expenses. She also supported me through college. That person was Mia's mom. When I was in college, I met Mia. After we started dating, her mom found out and cut off my tuition and living expenses. When I graduated, Mia couldn't handle the pressure, and we had a huge fight. Afterwards, she got together with another rich second-generation guy, Sarah. I really have no feelings for her anymore, but her family is my benefactor. Without them, I wouldn't be where I am today. I can't just watch her die. Can you understand me? He explained a lot, a whole lot. His helplessness, gratitude, and frustration were evident. He said he would treat me even better to make up for everything and begged me to give him another chance. He said so much, yet not once did he say he loved me. I sat in the car, silent, Not crying, just feeling tired. So tired. The next day, his company had an urgent matter. He initially said he would take me to the hospital, but ended up taking several work calls halfway there. I took the initiative and asked him to drop me off by the roadside. Can you manage? What do you want for dinner? I'll buy it and cook for you. Whatever. After giving these instructions, I took a cab to the hospital myself. After leaving the hospital, one of his colleagues called me and said, Ethan's in trouble. He got into a fight with someone. A rich guy. Ethan broke his nose. Panicking. I rushed home. On the way, I kept replaying what his colleague told me in my mind. The person he fought was Mia's husband. Apparently, her husband was abusive. Mia tried to divorce him after a suicide attempt due to the abuse, but they were still in the cooling-off period, and he refused to let her go. When she went back home, her husband beat her up. Ethan had gone to deliver her luggage. Seeing the scene, he started fighting without a second thought. How could the rich guy's family let it go? They definitely wanted to put Ethan behind bars. Thinking of this, I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. So he was this busy today. Too busy to accompany me to the hospital, but had time to deliver things to Mia. He's willing to ruin his future and fight for her. Is this about justice or personal vendetta? When I got home, the first floor was empty. I ran up to the second floor. As soon as I pushed open the garden door, I saw Mia crouching under the rose bush like a wounded kitten, her face tear-streaked. Son stood with his hands on his hips, still wearing his shoes. No time to change. Why did you marry such a person? He questioned her. Because I was angry with you. She stopped pretending. You said even if I married a beggar, you wouldn't care. I just wanted to see if you really didn't care because of anger. You gambled your future because of anger with me. Do you have any brains? He kicked the rosebush in anger, petals scattering. The girl cried harder. I am brainless. I just love you. The girl turned her back, her body shaking with sobs. You! He was at a loss for words. And art you. You found a girl with the same name as me, bought her the tea I love, sang her the songs I like, bought her the dresses I adore, the house I dreamed of, planted the flowers I love, and even planned to marry her. Didn't you gamble your future too? The girl stood up, looking up at him. Admit it. You still can't forget me. You still love me like I love you. Ethan, I know I was wrong. Can you forgive me? Let's stop torturing each other. Okay. There was a moment of silence between them. Mia tried to approach him, and he pushed her away. She, in a rage, reached for the thorns of the rosebush, her hands bleeding. Ethan couldn't stand it anymore and grabbed her hands. She threw herself at Ethan and kissed him. He intended to push her away, but when she almost fell, he caught her by the waist. What a tragic laugh scene. At that moment, my heart felt like it was being torn apart. Ethan turned, as if he had eyes on the back of his head, and his gaze met mine unexpectedly. Mia was smiling, and I felt like a thief caught in someone else's house, scared and fleeing. I rushed downstairs in a panic. The elevator seemed too slow, so I ran all the way to the first floor, crouched down, and covered my eyes, crying my heart out. Once I finished crying, I realized the pregnancy report in my hand was gone. Maybe I dropped it at home or in the hallway. It didn't matter anymore. The next day, Ethan called, but I didn't answer. I ignored his texts and messages too. On the third day, I heard he was busy fighting Mia's divorce case. He completely rescued her from the demon. She got divorced. Her ex-husband went to jail. Ethan has always been formidable. He never loses a court case. He used his most proud asset to win the world for the girl he loves. On the fourth day, I saw Mia's TikTok. It was a picture of him accompanying her with the caption, "You're amazing, my Ethan. Even if the world doesn't want me, when I turn around, you're always there for me." Commenters thought it was sweet and wanted to pitch in. Someone asked, what happened to his current girlfriend? No news. Probably backed out on her own. What if she comes back to fight? That's worrisome. Am I the only one who wishes the current girlfriend would die? She's a thief, lying in the hospital bed, watching others have their happy ending. I couldn't help but cry. Turns out, seeing others happy really does make you cry. I took out my phone and replied to that comment. Should I chip in with a wedding gift too? On the fifth day, I packaged the house keys and a miscarriage surgery report and sent them to Ethan. Ethan called me quickly, but I didn't pick up. He was interrupting my game. It's weird, though. He's even more capable than I imagined. The local delivery had only been received for about half an hour, and he showed up in my hospital room. His speed was just as impressive as his business acumen. You're pregnant? I was playing a game and didn't want to talk to him. What about the baby? Aborted. He turned pale with anger. Finally, this usually calm and collected man knocked my phone out of my hand and smashed everything in the hospital room. Sarah, you're such a vicious woman. You don't deserve love. I never loved you. After cursing me, he left. I picked up my phone and continued my game, head down. Why isn't this person moving? I'll report him when I go out. Unbelievable. I'm in chemo. I sent a message. Then never mind. Guys, if you so much as touch her today, the four of us will fight you to the end. I laughed out of frustration, then started crying. Ethan was really something, always knowing others' pain and excelling at rubbing salt in their wounds. The wedding was canceled. Ethan never came to the hospital again. Later, I quit my job and returned to my hometown. Grandma stayed with me in my hospital room every day. So it's over between you two? Grandma asked. What do I have to fight for? I looked at my bald head in the mirror. I'm so ugly, Grandma. Grandma put a wig on my head. Nonsense. You're not ugly. My granddaughter is the most beautiful girl in the world. Grandma, what's it like to carry a child? I asked her. He kicks you, moves around when you talk to him. Later on, you have to tell him stories to calm him down. If you stop, he fusses. Your mom was a naughty one in my belly, too. I dreamed of him last night. What did he look like? Did you see clearly? Grandma was expectant. His eyes were round like yours, his lips thin like Ethan's. He stretched out his hands to me, but when I reached out, he fell off the rooftop, covered in blood. I cried again. Grandma wiped my tears with her handkerchief. Don't cry, dear. You're still young. You'll have another child. The bond isn't over. He'll come back to you as your child again. It's my fault. You had brain tumor surgery in high school, but I never took you for follow-ups these years. It's because I'm uneducated and didn't pay attention that it progressed to cancer. It's not your fault, Grandma. Finish your chemo, beat the illness, and everything will get better. Grandma turned away, secretly wiping her tears. No need. He'd have a miserable life with me as his mom. No, you'll be a great mom. I won't. Yes, you will. Because of my cancer. I killed him with my own hands just to save myself. He was so tiny when they took him out, red and bloody like a little peeled tadpole. When he lay on that green cloth, my heart shattered. Ethan called me later, but I still didn't answer. You're not coming back, are you? What should I do with your things? Throw them away. I don't have an obligation to clean up your mess. You come back and handle it. Answer the phone. This time, I answered. After not hearing his voice for a few weeks, it felt unfamiliar. When are you coming back? He sounded drunk. I'll give you $500. You can hire movers to get my stuff out. Throw it or donate it or burn it. Where are you? He seemed not to hear what I said. Why are you still in the hospital? He heard the doctor doing rounds at the next bed. Are you Sarah? The new doctor asked. Do you know Ethan? I paused. Yes, I'm his roommate. Remember? Remember me? How could I know his roommate? Are you married to him? Where is he? I took that confession call you made back then. He asked again. No. After they left, I thought about many things from the past. My parents divorced when I was very young. After the divorce, they fought violently over my brother, resulting in bloody battles. I was insecure, isolated, and unwanted, always living with my grandma. Grandma had a cat, my only companion during childhood. One afternoon, the cat climbed up to the roof and couldn't get down. I climbed a tree to rescue it, but a group of boys gathered beneath the tree, leering up my skirt with ill intentions. I was so embarrassed, I wanted to die. A tall boy used a basketball to chase them all away. What are you looking at? Donate your eyes if you don't want them. After scolding them, he reached up, lifted me down, and carefully tied his school jacket around my waist before going to get the cat. He put the cat in my arms, patted my head. Don't climb trees in a skirt again. Got it? I nodded. What's its name? He pointed at the cat. Sarah, that's my name too. Nice name. What's yours? Jackson. So that summer afternoon, a boy named Jackson lit up my gloomy life like a beam of light. I saw his school uniform had the name of a high school on it. From then on, I studied like crazy, got into his high school, and in my second year, became pen pals with him when he was in his third year. We wrote to each other every month. He didn't know who I was, but I knew him. He shared his senior year pressures with me, and I told him about missing my parents. We exchanged secrets and promised to get into the same university. But after he got in, I missed the exams because of a brain tumor and had to redo a year. After repeating a year, I only got into a university in his city, but not his university. On Valentine's Day, in my freshman years, I mustered the courage to call his dorm to confess. I was so nervous and confused, I rambled on. I've liked you for many years. Would you consider being my boyfriend? There was a long silence on the other end. Yes, but I don't know your name. Sarah. Hi, Sarah, I'm Alan. We haven't met. How about you give me your address? Let's not be hasty and start as friends first. Alan? I was stunned. Aye, I'm looking for Jackson. Actually, at the beginning of the call, I had said I was looking for Jackson, but maybe because I said too much, he didn't hear that part. Jackson? So you weren't just confessing to me earlier. He's not here. Sorry, can you just pass a message for me? Pass a message. After just a minute, you're already looking for a new boyfriend. Sorry, who said you needed to be sorry? Why are you crying? Hey, relax. He's kind of mean, but don't cry. I won't be mean to you. Turns out the one who answered the call, Alan, became a doctor. My thoughts stopped there as I opened my phone and found a few new texts. Which hospital are you at? Stop messing around. Tell me what's wrong. Please just listen to me. I've been to every hospital and still couldn't find you. I'm so tired. The baby is ours. It's a life. What gives you the right to make decisions on your own? What gives you the right to use this way to get back at me? I was really mad that day. Said things without thinking. But do you have any idea how much it hurt me? Where are you? Send me your location. I'm begging you. It's Ethan. I smiled bitterly. So even the always victorious Ethan can admit defeat. Huh. But back when I was parched in the desert, just wanting a sip of water, he didn't give me any. Now he offers a whole carton after I'm out of the desert. I'm not interested anymore. At night, 2 doctors came into my hospital room. That Alan came again. How is she doing? Alan asked the doctor. Not great. What about going abroad? Would her chances improve? The doctor didn't answer. Silence was the answer. You two know each other? The doctor asked him. He glanced at me and replied, sort of. Never told me about her. She dumped me after a minute of being my girlfriend. He smiled wryly. All the patients in the room were giving us strange looks. The doctor left, but Alan stayed. Where is he? You're this sick and he's not around. He probably meant Ethan. We broke up. Just broke up. Even when I was overseas, I heard about how passionately you two were dating. He even told me to be his best man. How did that happen? What? Now that you're sick, he just leaves you. I was quiet for a long time. But then I spoke. You're probably talking about the other Mia. She and I have the same name. She's from your school. I'm not. It was pretty cruel. I patiently explained it to him. His face changed dramatically as he listened. That night when I answered your call, he came back and told me he was in a relationship and that his girlfriend was named Mia. I thought you two were together, so I didn't think you needed me to pass on the message. My mind went blank. So the reason I didn't get an answer that night was because he didn't know I called. I waited day after day until I finally couldn't anymore and went to his school to find him to get an answer. On the bus, I saw him carefully shading a girl from the sun. That day's sunlight was so harsh, it made me tear up. He had a girlfriend. I couldn't wait for his answer anymore. He fell in love with Mia, and even now, he can't let go. He says he hates her, says he doesn't love her, but his actions and eyes betrayed him long ago. Watching someone you love go from hating a girl to falling in love with her hurt way more than him just dumping me outright. Fate is such a joke. After graduation, I stayed in his city, just like in high school. I walked many day tours just to secretly catch a glimpse of him after class. I even secretly got close to his colleague to set up a so-called blind date. He asked if I wanted to be together. I acted all calm, but back home, I cried with happiness. He didn't know that his casual step forward was something I had schemed and spent all my energy to get. I carefully guarded this love, not daring to cross any lines. But just when I was joyfully about to marry him, his first love returned. With one line, "Admit it, you love me just as I love you." He completely surrendered, defenseless. It's really a pity, just a bit more, and I could have married that boy I liked at 17. So now he's asking where I am. What's the point? I'm going to die. Using death to bind a man's love, or trading for his guilt-ridden love. No thanks, Ethan. I love you. I once so hoped to be loved, but now I don't need it. Thank you for your honesty. We're done. I wrote this in my diary. Alan has been a frequent visitor to our ward lately. You, an orthopedic doctor, come here every day trying to take my job. The doctor was displeased. Mind your own business, Alan told him, carefree and unconcerned. Then he turned and asked me, feeling unwell anywhere? Dizzy, how many times did you throw up? 3 times. He touched my forehead. You're a bit feverish, didn't take any meds. They taste awful. You, don't be willful. Alan, are you her doctor, or am I... You say all my lines. What am I supposed to say? The other doctor was annoyed. You're a nuisance here. Alan glared at him. So, should I leave? The doctor stormed off. Come here, I'll feed you. Alan handed me the medicine. Take it quickly. After you do, I'll take you out. Where to? Anywhere you want. True to his word, he really took me out. Movies, bubble tea, and even clubbing. This Alan seemed not so serious. The first time, he pushed me to the dance floor. No need to be shy, it's dark. No one will recognize you. We had a bit too much fun that night. He showed me life could be so carefree. Aren't you afraid your patients might find out you're a doctor who likes to hang out at bars? I'm a doctor, not a monk. No need to live like one. True, I really envy him, living like a free spirit without anyone defining him. In fact, even if people did, he wouldn't care at all. After a while, I noticed him staring at me. What are you looking at? Nothing. He looked away. Are you happy? He asked. Then be this happy every day from now on. He was straightforward and a bit rough. Even though we just met, he talked to me like an old friend, saying he hoped I'd be happy every day from now on. I was feeling a bit down. Turns out, when you haven't been loved for a long time, even a little kindness from someone can make you want to cry. What's wrong? Thinking about him, he noticed my mood and asked, No, I was telling the truth. Let's go back. He seemed a bit frustrated. When we got back to the hospital, he waited until I fell asleep, tucked me in, and then stopped moving. Half asleep, I felt someone kiss my forehead. I was so scared, I didn't dare move. Your one-day girlfriend experience is over, he whispered. Make sure to take your meds from now on. He left. I finally breathed a sigh of relief. The next day, when I was throwing up like crazy, Ethan arrived. He was in a suit, his hair a bit messy, holding a briefcase. He looked like he had come straight from court. He was at the nurse's station, anxiously asking something, then saw me coming out of the bathroom. Just a few meters between us felt like a whole century. His hands were trembling, and he dropped his briefcase. He walked over quickly, looking at my bald head, wanting to hug me, but not sure what to do. What happened to you? Why didn't you tell me? His voice was low, so he knew. Was it Alan who told him? It's not necessary, I said sharply. Who are you to me, anyway? I regretted it immediately. If I had known he'd see me like this, I would have warned him about the wig Grandma suggested. I looked so ugly now. I'm your boyfriend, your fiancé. I suddenly laughed. We broke up. I never agreed to that. Ethan always needed to win or lose. I sighed. But it's not up to you now. You gotta ask the Grim Reaper. I turned around and went back to my room. I stood there stunned, then went to find the doctor. I sat in the room watching him through the glass window. He was on the phone, pressing his temples like he was looking for someone. By the end of the call, he looked like a lost puppy sitting helplessly on the chair next to the bed. "So you aborted the baby to do chemo, right? Why didn't you tell me sooner? Do you know how many nights I wondered why you were so cruel?" he said, his eyes turning red. It was his first time crying in front of me. I wasn't touched, just found him annoying. I was almost over the pain of losing the baby, and here he was, forcing me to reopen the wound. Even if I wasn't sick, I wouldn't have kept the baby. He was stunned. "Why? I'm afraid you'd want me to deliver him on someone else's anniversary or give him the name you had picked for someone else's child. Or he'd get cyberbullied for being unwanted, told he should die. I wouldn't want that for him. I wouldn't let him go through that." Ethan broke down, hugging me, admitting he was wrong. "I won't talk to her again. Let's get married, okay?" "Tomorrow?" He thought marriage could cure my illness. "No." I looked at him calmly. What I needed least was pity. He knew I needed love. After that, he stayed by my side constantly, taking care of me and still trying to convince me to marry him. I treated him with cold disdain, ignored his words, avoided his gaze, and constantly lost my temper with him. I took my whims to the extreme, and he still pampered me endlessly. "If you're feeling bad, talk to me, okay? I'm begging you. If you hate me or are angry with me, you can hit me, yell at me. Just don't keep everything bottled up." For a moment, it felt like we had switched roles. He was humbly and carefully managing my irritable mood, but he felt so unfamiliar to me. I still didn't want to say a word to him. When he went to pay some bills, an unexpected visitor showed up in my room. "You're just using your illness to trap a man. How are you any better than me?" she started. "I shared a youth with him. Do you know what he likes or hates? You're dying. Why compete with me? The house you decorated, the furniture, the flowers you planted, they'll all be mine. You're really noisy. If you're so confident, why fake amnesia to keep a man?" I smiled at her. "So what if I faked amnesia? It's not about the process. As long as everyone supports us, being together, it's fine." I laughed harder. "Accept everyone's blessing. I heard you're starting to sell stuff online. Gonna live your whole life as an online persona, wearing a mask your whole life. That's really sad." "You." She was pale with anger, but quickly snapped back. "Sarah, you're just my shadow. Once the lights are off, you're gone. I'll become a big influencer, make lots of money, buy him luxury cars and villas. What can you offer him? Your illness is a bottomless pit. You'll just drag him down, bankrupt him, and bring him back to a poor childhood. If it was before, hearing this would feel like the sky was falling. But now I was strangely calm because my world had already collapsed. It couldn't get any worse. Grandma looked at me. "You figured it out. Ethan hasn't given up on you. He's a good man." "Do you want to see me get married, Grandma?" I asked. "I used to," she said. "I thought if someone loved you and cared for you, I could pass on peacefully this old lady. But now I just want you to be happy. Whatever makes you happy is fine by me. Even if you never get married, I'll take care of you my whole life." She held my hand. "Are you happy, my dear?" I was stunned for a moment. Actually, when I first found out I had cancer, I was really scared. Later, I felt like no one loved me anyway, and living was a burden to others. Dying seemed like a release. I wasn't afraid anymore. Mia's words actually made me scared again. Grandma was old, and taking care of me was exhausting her. If I lived just another month, it would cost even more money. In the end, all our savings would be gone, leaving Grandma in debt. What would she do then? "Yes, I'm happy," or I smiled at her. The day before the wedding, I didn't let Ethan come to the hospital. It was a custom. The bride and groom shouldn't see each other the day before the wedding. He listened. I told Grandma, "Grandma, can you help me decorate my room back home? I want it to look pretty for my wedding." "Okay." "Will you be all right alone tonight?" Grandma seemed worried. "There are so many nurses here." I hugged her and acted all cute. "All right, my sweet granddaughter. I'll go buy balloons and ribbons now." I made a trip to the bank. Actually, from working these past years, I've saved up some money. Ethan paid for the renovations. I dreamed of buying a house to bring Grandma to live with me, but I hadn't saved enough for the down payment and spent a lot on treatments. I transferred all my money to a card and mailed it to Grandma. Then I went and ate my favorite beef noodles and bought my favorite milk tea. I only ate a little. Things I used to love, they didn't taste good anymore. And whenever I ate, I felt like throwing up, and my whole body felt terrible. I just couldn't eat. I held my milk tea and wobbled to a tree. Leaning against it, I sat down in pain. I started calling Grandma. We talked about many childhood stories. She reminded me to sleep early and call the doctor if I didn't feel well. Grandma, what is it? Nothing. I just wanted to call you. The duck you make is my favorite. I'm drooling just thinking about it. All right, I'll bring it for you tomorrow. Great, Grandma. You have to promise me you'll live a long life. There you go again. All right, I promise. Good night. I hung up the phone, breathing deeply from the pain. After calming down, I replied to some colleagues' messages. When I quit my job suddenly, there were many things left unresolved. Are you really not coming back? We all hope you would come back. Don't worry about the online trolls. Turns out my colleagues thought I quit because of the online gossip. That's fine. I sat under the tree for half an hour, not knowing who else to say goodbye to. In the end, I dialed that familiar number, which often appeared in my dreams. I'm looking for Mary. She's bathing the baby. Who's calling? Soon a woman's voice came over. Who's looking for me? Could be a scammer. Oh, that was my mom. Wrong number. I hung up. I didn't have the courage or energy to call my dad. Forget it. With nothing else to do, I posted a status with the recording from earlier, then deleted the app. I thought about it and sent a message to Alan. In my final moments, I thought of the guy I'd only known for a month and wanted to say goodbye. Finally, with all goodbyes done, all that was left was Ethan. My head felt like it was splitting. Breathing was hard. With the last bit of strength, I tried to climb the tree. I climbed and climbed but couldn't get up. The 10th time, I slid down. I sat there weakly, memories flashing by. I remembered watching as other kids' parents took them to the amusement park. I remembered doing chemistry homework under a dim lamp in middle school. I remembered walking home alone after school with a little orange tabby following me. I remembered hiding by the window in high school, watching a boy seriously writing in his mistake book. I remembered meeting Ethan for a blind date, our first date, the mix of fear and excitement the first time I visited his place. I remembered sitting in the audience, watching him effortlessly debate opponents into silence. The memory paused at the first time I saw Ethan that afternoon. The boy bent down and gently petted my head. What's its name? Sarah. But later, that cat died, and now I hurt so much I couldn't even climb the tree. My youth was gone forever. If I had the chance again, I would rather have never met him. At 1 a.m., I died next to that tree I could never climb again. The next day, my soul hovered in midair. An ambulance rushed me to the hospital. On the way, a line of Mercedes wedding cars passed by the ambulance. I saw Ethan nervously reading his speech. It was funny. He suddenly looked out the window, saw the ambulance, frowned but didn't see me. At the hospital, he ran up the stairs with flowers, only to see my body with a white cloth over my face being wheeled out. He collapsed. Family, please sign here, said the doctor. I won't sign. She's not Sarah. She's not my Sarah. My Sarah isn't dead. She can't be dead. She's waiting for me to marry her. She won't. Everyone in the hall watched him lose it, stumble to hold my hand, crying uncontrollably. Sarah, I'm here to marry you. Ethan, you look so pathetic. I couldn't stand to watch. I floated to the hallway. My grandma's old hand gripped the railing, holding the card I sent her, sighing deeply. My baby will feel no more pain. She wiped her tears and slowly walked toward my body. I couldn't watch. I couldn't bear to see her cry. I chose to escape. I floated to Alan's office. He had just come off the operating table when he saw the message I sent him. Alan, thank you for letting me experience so many firsts. You are amazing and will be an excellent doctor someday. I never blamed you. Be happy, okay? Goodbye. He smiled and replied, Goodbye? Are you awake? I brought you breakfast. Oh, this fool! If I were to have breakfast with you now, you'd be scared to death. He changed clothes, grabbed his phone, went out to buy breakfast, and then headed to my room. At my bed, there was already someone else's name. Where's she? She left this morning. Where did she go? She's gone. The breakfast he brought fell to the floor with a thud. On the 5th day after I died, I hadn't reincarnated yet. My soul wandered around. The old lady was doing fine. Grandma was just grandma. Having faced many ups and downs, she seemed to have expected the end and was unusually calm. She cooked every day, making all my favorite dishes. Good thing now, no one will scold me for sneaking bites. Something big happened online. The short video I posted about Mia's recording went viral. It didn't attract much attention initially, but someone commented, "That girl passed away this morning in the hospital." That comment stirred 1,000 ripples and exploded online. Mia pretended to have amnesia, became the other woman, and forced the current girlfriend to death. Couldn't believe someone so innocent-looking was actually leading online bullying. She's disgusting. She tricked us into tears, but it was all an act. The current girlfriend had it so bad the public started to turn. Mia lost 1 million followers overnight and received thousands of hateful messages. Major brands started dropping her. I heard she sent the miscarriage report to the jerk. How pitiful. People began digging up information, and it kept escalating. No snowflake in an avalanche ever feels responsible. Yes, those who told the girlfriend to die, you are all to blame. Then the major fans, who had commented earlier, also faced online attacks. They claimed to be students and said they made comments casually, without thinking, begging netizens for forgiveness. Don't act now. Didn't think much when commenting, but now say you're students and didn't know better. Acting like brats. Who's going to pamper you? Those students were so bullied online that they didn't dare go to school. Some dropped out. Some became depressed. My private messages overflowed daily with apologies, confessions, and people angrily helping me curse others. I just found it amusing with their keyboards. They played the role of just judges. Those who bullied me are now attacking those they previously praised. The cycle keeps reversing. Funny, right? Why should I? Why should I forgive them if my death makes them feel scared and uncomfortable? Then sorry, feel uncomfortable for the rest of your life. Mia deleted all her videos, but to no avail, netizens had already saved and reposted them. Every day, people left white chrysanthemums at her doorstep and at her mother's company. She was too scared to go out and sought out Ethan. "Ethan, help me. I want to sue those people." "What do you have to do with me?" Ethan shoved her aside. "You don't want me anymore." "Don't you love her?" "She might die. Not anymore. My biggest regret was helping you regain your memory, Mia. I owe you nothing." From now on, we have nothing to do with each other. Really nothing to do with each other. Without your love, what's the point in living? I might as well jump from here. Ethan said nothing, glanced at her, and walked away without looking back. The next day, news of a girl jumping from the Century Building hit the headlines. It was that internet celebrity. They said she always used threats of death to manipulate her ex. He compromised time and again, but this time, he didn't. So she really jumped. Ethan seemed unaffected, still going to work and coming home. No wonder Ethan has a strong heart. But now, he just goes straight home after work. No more socializing. He sets the table for two, even though he eats alone. Then waters the yard. Oh, he cut down all the white roses in the yard and planted daisies everywhere. Day after day, he stares at the daisies in a daze. So ridiculous. Is Ethan doing this because he loves me, or is it just to console himself? Does he think I will forgive him? No way. I want him to taste the despair of giving someone hope and then killing it, but I overestimated my place in his heart. He seemed a little affected, but not much. 2 months after my death, another person started following me. It was Grandma. Seeing her, I was both anxious and angry. "Why are you here?" "Grandma took care of me from when I was 2 to 28. Can't get used to not tending you." So, Grandma followed me around as we wandered the earthly realm. Let's watch as much as we want. Our baby no longer has to hide to see the person she likes. Grandma smiled, seeing me float in front of Ethan. I wanted to cry. Meanwhile, Alan stood by my grave. "Hey, ex-girlfriend, let's hang out." He brought a stereo and played the loudest DJ music at my grave. It disturbed the neighbors. The old man next door complained to me, saying Alan was disturbing his grandson's study. "We're in the underworld, Grandpa. Why are you still making me study?" The grandson grumbled. "What do you know? Without a diploma, you'd end up doing menial jobs even in the afterlife." "Grandpa," he smacked his head. That scene left Grandma and me stunned. Luckily, Alan finished his cigarette and turned off the stereo. "In the next life, let's meet early." I didn't get a chance to respond before I heard people cheering around me. So handsome and devoted. Just say yes. Unable to resist their urging, I softly said, "Okay, Alan." Standing in front of me, he couldn't have heard, but his eyes suddenly turned red. He squatted there, saying nothing, stubbornly burning paper money for me. If only I'd fought harder back then. Would things have ended differently? "Say it." I stood in front of him, touched his head, and said, "I don't know." Ethan took care of my grandma's and my funeral arrangements. I didn't want him to, but I was dead. I couldn't resist. While sorting through my belongings, he found a shoebox. Inside were the replies he had sent me in high school. He was shocked. His hands shook as he read each letter, and then he collapsed to the floor, crying loudly. "So you were Sarah all along. The one I liked since high school was you, Sarah. I was wrong. I thought Mia was you. I got close to her, fell in love with her, and couldn't let her go because I thought she was you. I was so wrong, terribly wrong. Come back, please, come back so I can love you again, Sarah. Oh." He cried so much his voice became hoarse. "Oh, Ethan. Ethan finally remembers me. So, Ethan liked Mia so deeply because he thought she was me. So, he did like me once. Grandma, I want to cry." That night, he drank a lot of alcohol, and on New Year's Day, he jumped into the sea. "Sarah, I'm coming to find you. I love you." Hearing those 3 words, my soul, tangled with longing, disintegrated instantly. "Goodbye, Ethan. I'm going with Grandma to find my child. God, let me and my child be sisters in the next life." At night, when no one was around, the wind gusted fiercely outside the house. A letter fell to the ground and was blown open. It had the strong and vigorous handwriting typical of a young person. "Dear Sarah, you said you're not good at physics, so I organized notes and study methods for you. If you don't understand something, just let me know. You said your classmates bully you. I was worried, but I don't know where you go to school, so I can't help. Don't mind others' opinions. In my eyes, you are kind and beautiful, and you deserve the best things in the world. By the way, I'm going to a university in the north. Do your best, okay? I'll wait for you at the university. You asked me in your last letter what kind of girls I like. How about I tell you when you come to my university? It's getting colder lately. Has it gotten colder in your city? Dress warmly. No need to lose weight. Don't be afraid when you face difficulties. I'll always be there for you. Your brother, Jackson." At the end of the letter, there was a line of still wet ink. It looked like someone had just written it. "Dear Sarah, I can tell you now, the girl I like has a little orange cat. She's a bit shy, insecure, and sensitive, but I didn't love her for her good traits. I came to love her. Seeing her vulnerability and stubbornness made my heart ache. But I loved her even more. Her name is Sarah. Now, I'm going down to marry her. Your brother, Jackson." The strong wind blew the letter into the air. Then it floated down to the 2nd floor, finally landing on a yard full of daisies. Soon, a heavy rain began to pour from the sky. The rain hit the letter, and the ink started to fade, seeping into the soil beneath. The boy's letter. The girl received it,